The film begins in Germania in the year 180 AD, and we see that the Roman army, led by General Maximus, is currently preparing to fight the barbarian tribes in Germania. Here, the important thing is that Maximus will be sent as a messenger to the barbarian tribes so that they agree to surrender. But the messenger returns to his horse without his head, because the tribes killed him. Then the tribes appear, and those who are with them are the head of the messenger, and are now ready for war. At this time, Maximus begins to motivate his soldiers, and along with the war begins. The Roman soldiers begin to attack these tribes with catapults in order to destroy the forests in which they are holed up. And at the same time, Maximus and his soldiers begin to attack tribes and kill them. Please let the war continue for a long time, and we will see during this war Maximus's very great strength in the fight. As usual, Maximus and his men are able to win the battle in the end, and the Roman Emperor Marx will be present, by the way, and he sees this battle and is very happy that his army won. And one responds and says to him, "May the peace and blessings of God be upon him. Thus, leave all the for." Marx goes to Maxim, and they ask what he wishes for the occasion. He wins the battle, so they sell Maximus. He wants his freedom, and goes to his wife, and his son lives. It is important because Maximus, my friend, is originally Spanish, and you can say that he is a general in the army and everything, yes, but he is not in the mood. The important thing is that Marx knows that he will think about the issue and respond to it. On the other hand, he remains. And at the same time, this we will see. The crown prince is the son of Maximus, whose name is Commodus, and Commodus is currently in this carriage with his sister Lucilla, and they are talking together. So Ben knows from their words that they are coming by order of the emperor, their father Marx, who asked to meet them. And Commodus is now telling his sister that their father Marx is very ill, and that is why he invited them in the first place. So that Commodus is... In any case, the crown prince after a while brings Commodus to the battlefield and meets his father, Marx, and greets him and congratulates him on the victory. So they sold Marx now that he must congratulate Maxim, because he was the one who won. So Commodus congratulates him. And we find that Marx does not like a strong Commodus, meaning he intended to embarrass him because he does not fight like Maximus. In general, on the same day and at night, there will be a celebration like this on the occasion of the victory that happened. At this celebration, Commodus comes and takes Maximus, and they introduce two representatives of the Senate of the entire empire. Then Commodus spoke to Maximus, and informed him that his father would die very soon, and that he would be the one who would be the emperor in his place. It means helping him, so that they get rid of the Senate and the representatives in it, because they are always able to oppose the emperor. So they sold Maximus that he is not interested in all of this, and that he is waiting for Emperor Marx to grant his freedom to God, so that he can return to his wife, his son. Of course, this bothers Commodus very much, but he does not comment. But he knows that Maximus knows that his sister Lucilla is present here, and that she still loves him as much as in the past. Because, by the way, my friend Maximus and Silas, there was a love story between them a long time ago, but she went away on her own. The next day, she summoned Marx Maximus, and Beirut actually belonged to Maximus, and at that time he continued to involve Marx in the matter. Marx knew that Maximus intended to appoint him as protector of Rome in place of his son Commodus, because Commodus is a very failure and he does not know how to run the country, and he knows. Marx means that he summoned Commodus here to inform him of these words himself, and he is confident that he will agree. And Maximus Marx knows that he does not want to be the protector of Rome, and his only goal is to take his freedom and go live with his wife and son. But Marx refuses to talk. He knows that the most suitable person for this position is the one who will be able to protect the country, and for that reason he will make him the protector of Rome seriously. They also know Marx that he has the whole day ahead of him thinking about him and informing him of his decision, and he thinks well about what Maximus has said, and leaves and walks. After that, Maximus continues to meet Lucilla, and keeps talking to her about the days. The old ones inform Lucilla that her husband has died, and that she currently has a son named Lucius, who is 8 years old. It is clear that Lucilla is hinting that they are getting back together like in the past, but Maximus informs her that he is married and has a wife and a child, and that it will not be useful for him to be with him permanently, or marry her and sell her now, and will leave after a while with all of this left. They meet with his son, Commodus, and he informs him that he will not leave the emperor because he cannot be in a position like this, and that he is the one who will leave Maximus the protector of the country for a certain period, like this, until the Senate chooses a way to run the country, after which the imperial system of government ends, and the country turns into a republic, in which the people rule. Himself, of course. All this talk bothers Commodus very much, and he feels that his father is taking away from him his legal right to remain the emperor. And because of this, Commodus gets close to his father, Marx, and makes himself hug him, but in reality, he keeps suffocating him until he dies in his hands. After that, he goes to one of the soldiers, and knows Maximus. Commodus wants him, so Maximus goes to see what's wrong with him. I find Commodus waiting, and they know that the emperor is dead, and Maximus knows all along that Commodus is the one who killed him, and therefore Maximus leaves the place so that he goes to see what he will do. But Maximus will not be able to do anything if a group of people go to him. The soldiers are led by a soldier named Countess, who remains a lifelong friend of Maximus, by the way. Currently, Countess and those with him are arresting Maximus, and this is his blood. He knows all along that Commodus has decided to remove him from the road. The important thing is that Maximus remained desperate to ask Countess to take care of his wife and his son, because he felt that she will be killed. Because they came to Countess, and they know that his wife and son of their time died, and he also died by order of Commodus. Of course, Maximus and him are very shocked. But the second day, a group of soldiers are currently taking him to a place like this in the forest, where they will execute him. But Maximus does not let them do that. And all the while he starts hitting them with all his might and takes them a sword from one of them, and he continues to kill all the soldiers. He is blessed with the sword of battle, lining his armor, but he manages to kill everyone. After that, Max takes a horse and a pint on his way home so that he can check on his wife and son. When he arrives home, they are surprised with a body attached to it. And of course he is very, very shocked and continues to cry. Because of his great sadness, and because of the injury in his arm, he is unable to bear all of this and falls unconscious. When he passes Maximus a second time, he finds himself in a carriage like this, and there are many people with him, and we know that these people are all slaves. I mean, Maximus, so they took them with them after a while, and they reached everything. The city is called the City of a Righteous Husband, and the slave trader who took Maximus for a man named Proximo goes there and offers Proximo all the slaves he has, and the one of them means Maximus. He bought Proximo Maximus and another slave named Juba from the ones who were with the merchant. Then Proximo takes them all to his yard. He now informs them that they will be his slaves and work as gladiators in the battlefields. One of the wrestlers owned by Proximo, named Hagen, begins to train them, and now he attacks with Juba and Bella. He is a very good fighter. Then he moves with Maximus, but Maximus does not like that he remains a slave and is forced to fight so that someone else can win behind him, and because of this, he does not agree to train at all. The next day, Maximus participates in the first fight that he was forced to do, and what is a somewhat strange fight is that Maximus enters this fight while tied with Juba, so that he fights him together. And there are also many wrestlers in the place, some of whom are attacked by Hagen. And we see by the way that Proximo is now watching all of this, and he says to Maximus that he is the one who will win, and the fight will continue, and Maximus will continue to attack him, and Hagen will strike at the wrestlers in front, and they will continue to fight with them very much, with all strength and courage, and the fight will end. And the only ones left alive will be Maximus, and he will attack, but from here it will begin. Everyone sees that Maximus is a strong fighter and is not easy at all. On the other hand, he remains. At the same time, we see that Cumulus arrives in Rome with his sister Lucilla, and is welcomed of course by all the people, because he will handle all the tasks from this moment on. Commodus will now go to the representatives of the Senate and greet them and be there. Among the deputies is a person named Falco who competitions used to cause the empire to lose a lot in the past, and that is why Marx, the father of Commodus, was completely against it. But now Commodus has returned it so that the people will be distracted by it and see what remains to be done with the Senate in the meantime. But on the other hand, we see that Maximus is preparing himself to enter a new fight, and now Proximo comes to him and talks to him, and Proximo is very annoyed that Maximus Beetle is stuck in the ring all the time and does not make shows that attract the audience, and he asks Maximus that when he enters the ring, he does not prefer it. He fights along and that's it. No, people don't like him as he thinks, but Maximus doesn't care about all this, and when he enters the new fight, he prefers to kill all the fighters against him, and he is able to get rid of them all and win with all his skill. After this fight is over, I summon Proximo and Max to his room, and they know. They will go to fight in Rome, and they know that it means that he must prove himself there. Maybe the emperor there will grant him his freedom, and he will not become a gladiator slave to Proximo. They know that Proximo was a fighter exactly like him in the past, but the emperor Marx used the wooden sword, and the one with it grants his freedom. Of course, my friend Maximus, during this speech he knows that Emperor Commodus is currently the new emperor, so it is impossible to do this with him. But he decides to go to Rome and fight there. He may be able to gain his freedom in any way, and at least he may be able to confront Emperor Commodus and take back what he did to him in any case. After a few days of all this, Maximus arrives. Juba, Hagen, Proximole, and many other gladiators with them for Rome are now standing in front of the famous gladiatorial arena called Alcasma, and they do not believe themselves at all that they will be in a place like this. On the other hand, we see Commodus standing in front of Lucius, his nephew, and Commodus is looking at a mule, and we will start thinking about it in front of him. But why? The important thing is that Rosella is coming now to take him from his stand and talk to him together. He learned from their words that Commodus intends to abolish the Senate after a short period, and she is trying to find a way to make him understand that this is very wrong. But he will not go back on his words, so she loves Wasila, and leaves now, and walks away. Then she goes to Wasila, and meets Gracchus, and one of them, another member of the Senate. His name is Gaius, and we know that they meet secretly from time to time, and we also know that Russell meets with them, meaning they found a way to stop Commodus alone. And regarding the important issue of abolishing the Senate, it means that Lucilla is currently informing them that Commodus will hold his own fighting competitions with money for food and supplies. And this means that, also, for how many years will people die of hunger because of tournaments and empty talk? And you will also know that Commodus is dealing with her son Lucius in a strange way, and she feels that he might kill her son because he is the heir to the family after him. And we understand, my friend, why Commodus always has a strange way with Lucius. What is important is that Lucilla knows that they must kill Commodus as soon as possible so that they can be stopped. So Gracchus tells her that they must do this, but not now, and they must prefer to appear before Commodus, so that he does not doubt them at all. So Lucilla agreed to what they said, and she leaves and walks away the next day. The competitions begin in the Colosseum, and of course Commodus will be present and watch the competitions. This is with all the people. And currently, Maximus continues to enter to fight with his team of Proximo fighters, and you know that everyone is wearing clothes like masks, meaning that no one can see what the other person is. And currently, Maximus continues to enter with all the fighters in the wrestling ring. And suddenly they enter upon them as wrestlers riding in cars, which is supposed to mean that they are fighting him, of course. The matter will be very, very difficult. But Maximus continues to direct all the fighters, as he used to do in the past with his soldiers in the war. And he begins to fight those gladiators who are already in chariots, and two characters are able to finish off two of them. And in this entire battle, by the way, Hagen will be injured, so Maximus will quickly go to him, and they will be removed from the battle for a while, so that he does not die, and Maximus will continue this fight with the rest of the gladiators, until they are able to win. And of course everyone is impressed with them, including Commodus himself. And so, after the fight ends, Commodus goes down and talks to these gladiators. And of course he talks to Maximus because he is the strongest one of them, and wants to get to know him. Then he asks him to take off his helmet, so it is sold. And here Commodus is shocked when he learns that this is Maximus and is still alive. And Commodus decides that he will kill him immediately. And in fact, Commodus's soldiers literally raise their swords so that he recites. But the crowd, who were very happy with Maximus, keep asking Commodus to let him live. So Commodus is forced. He hears their words involuntarily and actually lets Maximus live. But of course he is upset, and wants to find any way to get rid of him. On that same day and at night, Lucilla comes to Maximus, and Maximus thinks that she is coming to kill him. But Lucilla knows that she is not like her brother Commodus, and that she does not know what will happen to him and his family. And asks Lucilla from Maximus means that he joins her, Jirac, and Kyocera, so that they can finish Commodus before he gets rid of her son Lucius, because he is the heir to the throne after him, and before he destroys the entire country. But Maximus does not believe her at all, so he rejects her offer and leaves and walks away for the next day, my friend. We see that Commodus is gathering everything. The soldiers who previously told him that Maximus was dead, which is supposed to mean that they killed him, and he was certain that he would get rid of them all, because they wrote to him and told him that Maximus had died, even though he was living normally, and in fact, he was now being killed. After a while from all of this, we see that Maximus is entering into a new fight, and this fight is going on against a legendary star who has never lost a match in his entire history. But this is not the most dangerous thing that will happen, because when the fight begins, Maximus is surprised by the fact that they bring him tigers as well. And of course Commodus will do this in order to get rid of Maximus, but Maximus does not care, and prefers to fight with the wrestler who is against him until now. He couldn't finish it after a lot of trouble, of course, because by the way, he was fighting with it, and at the same time trying to avoid the tiger in general. I mean, after the fight was over, Commodus Maximus decided to kill the tiger, but Maximus refused. And here Commodus and his soldiers went down and put Maximus down, and Commodus continued to provoke Maximus so that he would make a mistake in it, and there is something in front of all these people that he wants to kill him. But Maximus does not make a mistake at all, so Commodus is forced to leave him with his suit again, after which he lives. Maximus goes to one of the soldiers who were close to him for a long time. Why did Maximus ask this soldier that he meant to gather such soldiers for him? Because he means that he will come very close to something? Great. He agrees to join this soldier and he is happy and is walking now. Maximus is on the other side. We see Commodus sitting with Falco, and he is very, very fanatical and wants him to get rid of Maximus. So Falco chooses to kill him, but Commodus is not satisfied because the people love him very much, and if he kills him, the people will lose. Those who want them to be by his side when he abolishes the House of Representatives, and they realize that he is thinking of another way to get rid of Maximus. The important thing is that we go back to Maximus again, and the one who is going now to meet the soldier I told you about a while ago, and they will let the soldier know that he is able to reach all the soldiers who have been friends for a long time, and they are all ready for anything important, and he will be happy. Maximus informs the soldier that he wants to send a message to the agency, that he very much agrees to join it, so the soldier actually does that. But after a while we see Maximus going with Lucilla. Gracchus meets him. Gracchus tells Maximus that he has a nice plan with which they can defeat Commodus. The plan, in short, is that Gracchus buys Maximus from Proximo, and then Maximus will go. He gathers his army from the beginning and again and returns again to Rome and finishes with Commodus. Of course, Maximus very much agrees and decides on this. After how many days remain of all this? This is supposed to be the day on which Gracchus will buy Maximus, but Gracchus does not come, and goes now. Proximo to Maximus, and they know that he has seen many spies. In the city, it is clear that Gracchus will not be able to buy it today. So Maximus tells Proximo that he will at least let him go and complete his mission, and when he finishes, he will bring him a lot of money. But Proximo does not agree because he wants to think about the first matter. Then the means will come to Maximo, and they will know that Gracchus has been arrested, and that he must It means he is running away, because Commodus knew everything, and he certainly will not leave. She now leaves the means and goes to the house, where she finds Commodus sitting with Lucius, her son, and Commodus knows that he knew everything, and that if she conspired against him again, he would kill her son. After that, we see that the soldiers following Commodus go to the residence of Proximo and the gladiators. This means that they will get rid of all of them, especially Maximus, so he goes by the way, and Proximo quickly goes to Maximus, and in my hand is the key to the room in which he and all the gladiators are. So Maximus decides that he will escape. But before he does that, he asks the gladiators that they mean to paralyze the soldiers, so they actually agree to his words. And he leaves Maximus alone. They run away. And now the soldiers attack Proximo and the gladiators, and they kill Proximo, Hagen, and how many other gladiators. And then they fall in love with Juba, and the rest of the gladiators who are with him, to see what they will do to them. Then, Maximus goes to the soldier who followed him, so that they go to the rest of the soldiers and start a war. But Maximus is surprised, and suddenly Commodus's soldiers appear out of nowhere. They arrest him, but my master, they take him to prison. And now Commodus comes to Maximus, and without any prelude, he takes out a knife and seriously wounds him. After that, Commodus orders his men to put Maximus in his armor, because he will immediately be killed in the arena in front of all the people. And we know from this that Commodus wants to kill Maximus in front of all the people, so that the people love Commodus as much. They love Maximus, and he also degrades Maximus in their view. And of course, Commodus will have Maximus's backside in this way, so that he cannot fight and die. But despite that, Maximus, my friend, fights with Commodus with all his strength, and with a right strike over a left strike, Maximus is able in the end to defeat Commodus despite his injury after what happened. This, my friend, is talking to Maximus, and he is in the spirit with all the people, and asking them that his friends, the gladiators who are like Juba, be released from prison, and that Gracchus and the clean politicians like him are also released from prison, that these are the clean people who are able to seriously improve the conditions of the country that Commodus destroyed. Maximus concludes his engagement, and dies in one of the saddest scenes ever. And with this gesture, the movie ends. I hope you like it, and I would like to tell you, my friend, that there is a second part, very soon.